In this video, we're going to look at how you can use a filter to add text and talk about some of how you can add text in different parts of the video. Now, one thing I want to stress that is important is that you consider how sound or images might fight with each other. So let's say I want to use this clip. It's a nice clip, and there's some nice sound, but there's no narration, so it's not necessarily clear to your documentary audience what they're supposed to be learning from this clip, other than it's kind of neat. And I could narrate, but then I'm competing with the music. So this is an area where adding text might be better. So let's go all the way to the beginning. And let's say we want to add some text. Now, one thing I want to note, first of all, is you'll see that I've already added a filter to make this a little bit softer. And you can have multiple filters. But if you add a filter, it goes all the way to the end of the clip section, right? So now you can add a divider, split at playhead, and oops. I'm sorry, I don't. It's because the playhead's at the beginning. There we go. If I were to split at playhead, split there, and then add a filter here, it would only go up to that split. It wouldn't go here. So because I didn't have a split when I added the gain volume, it went through the whole clip. That's important because what it means is if you add words here using a filter, it's going to go all the way to the end of the clip unless you create a division. So I first wanted just to add a text note mentioning that the Filipinos and that there were Filipino guerrillas. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a section where I want it that I want to play through. So I'll split it here. And that was too short. That's not nearly enough time to let anyone read anything. So let's advance a little bit. Let's go up to here. And we'll get split at playhead. And now here's the tricky thing is I want to make sure now to click this. And then I'm at filters. And I'm going to go to plus. Now I want to add a video filter. Now I'm going to go down. And I'm going to pick, let's see, text simple. And here's what's tricky, is it's going to start like at the playhead, so you can't actually see what you're writing. So you got to make sure to drag this back. And this is the default text. And you can see it right here. It says timecode, hashtag, timecode, hashtag. That's basically, it's 0.23 seconds in. But if I type here, that's going to replace that. So I'll type in something about the Filipino guerrillas. And so now you've got that. Now, the thing is, we maybe don't want it to be at the bottom like that. That looks kind of weird. So you can actually hold down and drag this text, and then you can grab the center and you can move it around. Now, let's say you want it want it to shift to the left. You can hit this, or actually, before I do that, now let's say that you don't want it all in one long sentence. You want to split it in half. So you can actually go back in here and you can hit return, and now it's split. And the problem with it, though, maybe it looks kind of odd, and that's because it's justified left, or actually it's center. Let's make it justified left. So it all kind of sticks there. And then I can hold this in the middle and then move it here. Let's say for some reason, though, you want it on top, and you're like, well, I can't get it on top because, oh, actually you can. To make it a little bit easier, though, you could choose vertical fit top, right? You can have top, middle, bottom, left, center, right. So we're going to put it left. I like to have things at the bottom. So we'll put it right there. And watch, you'll note this is going to continue until we got to this point here, right? It disappears after that. So now I want to add another section, and I'm going to have it start here. Let's see. Yeah. I want there to be a break. We don't want there to be a whole bunch of text. So let's put a split here and then move forward. And go here. And and then make another split. And now we're going to pull it back so we can actually see it. And let's pick this one. And then we can add we go to filters. Don't want to be in properties. If you're in properties, you won't be able to do it. You go to filters, then you hit the plus sign, go down until you hit text simple. And now we can add more text. And it's the same kind of thing. We can make it small again, put it where you want. I like to be consistent, put it in the same area. And I want to point out, you can change the font, you can change the color, right? We made the text black. Change it back to, oh goodness, I can't, I'm colorblind. You can change the font. You can change it to Times New Roman if you want. There's lots of different things that you can play with here. And interestingly enough, if you hit Control Z, you lose everything. So that's kind of funny, actually. So let's put that back. So learning experience for me too. So don't feel bad if you make a mistake. So if you hit Control Z, you lose the whole filter, not just the change you made to the filter. So let's do that again. Say American forces provided to their Filipino allies. Again, that's a lot of text, so let's go to about the middle and hit enter. Notice you can't see it here, and that's because the playhead is over here. If I put it here, now we can actually see it. And we'll move it to where I want it. I want it left. And we are good to go here. So now let's see what this looks like. So it disappeared. Now we have a pause. Now we're getting new text. And then it's going to disappear. Now, since we're on the subject of filters, I just want to note that there are a lot of different things you can do. You can add multiple filters, like I mentioned. We're in video filters. And there's just a lot of stuff you can play with. For example, you can make it look old. So for example, you can make it look grainy. See, you see how that changed? And you can change like all these different things to make different effects. And if you don't like it, you just select it and then you hit the minus button. So that gives you a sense of how to add text, and that way you're not fighting, like trying to shout over music that you may want, right? I think that music, that kind of jaunty version of the Filipino national anthem and the Filipinos and Americans working here, I think that's awesome. And I think if you try to talk over it, it would mess with it. But you can add this kind of text in order to make it kind of go together in a nice, seamless fashion.